Treese Morris, everyone. Yeah, follow that, William. Oh, fans? Oh, can we get fans on here? I guess people are hot. I'm on stage, so. Oh, well, thank you all very much for being here. So it's the holiday seasons. Oh, I'm absolutely loving it. So my talk title, A Family of One. Now, as I grew up, I talked a lot about being an only child. But actually, I have 2 stepbrothers and a half-sister. But for most of my life, I was an only child. And when my mother got her second divorce, I decided, I'm done with that. I know that divorce had nothing to do with me. And so I went to go live with my dad. Well, because of how I was raised, and bad or good or indifferent, I was very independent. I went outside, didn't come home till either the street lights came on or I heard that whistle. Does anybody know about that whistle? So when I went to South Carolina to be part of my father's side of the family, I didn't really fit in because there was structure there. And I had a mother that I now call mother who was involved in my life. See, when I first moved over there, I used to ride my 10-speed bike from the rural suburbs into town, and down the south, there's no freeways. There's 2-lane roads where people drive 90, and I'm driving my little bike on that when I'm in 6th, 7th, 8th grade or whatever. So I go to South Carolina thinking, I'm going to go to town, and she's like, the hell you are. God, back then, and so ignorant, I couldn't stand her. Seriously, I really couldn't stand her. But now, as an adult and having a family of my own and children of my own, I realize the importance of structure and of family. And I know a lot of us now, our families are getting smaller and smaller. I'm getting to an age now where I'm starting to recognize and see people making their transitions. In fact, actually, this Thanksgiving, I'm going to go back to South Carolina, but my boys, I told them to stay here because their grandfather on their mother's side just made his transition a few weeks ago. And I thought that it was very important for them to stay with her and to show her support and love, just like she's given to them and to me throughout all these years. There's pluses and minuses of being an only child. The plus of being an only child is you get all the desserts. And during the holiday seasons, every present under the tree is mine. I loved it. And I still love it. I am such a sneak. I used to go in when they were working. I'd carefully peel off that tape to see what I was getting. And I would ever so carefully put it right back, right where it belonged. That way, if I tore any paper, it would match up so they would never know that I knew exactly what I was getting. But the downside is, anytime I got in trouble or something was broken, there's only so many times I could blame it on the dog. Yeah. Holiday season. I love this time of year because of the lights and the decorations. The festivities. I love seeing the lights on all the houses. But I can't stand putting them up. Such a pain in the tush, let me tell you. But that's not the real reasons I love the holiday season. Right there. Eggnog. Let me tell you what. I'll gain 20 pounds in a season. I don't care. That stuff is like liquid gold. And I think I've drank so much that they're now following my trend because this year I actually found eggnog in the grocery store before Halloween. I used to have to wait till after Thanksgiving to be able to get that treat, but I'm telling you what, I absolutely love it. So let's go. Talking about a family of one. As I get older, it's not the same. The family dynamics have changed. I'm now the oldest favorite uncle. Makes me remember my Uncle Dougie. Like I said, I was an only child with 2 weeks out of the year siblings. And before that all happened, let's say I had energy to spare. I mean, I could have powered with the amount of energy I had in me. I think you could have hooked up some electrodes to me and I could have powered the town. But one time, being the stinker that I was, I'm running around doing stuff, and my Uncle Dougie goes, "Cut that out." And I turned around and looked at him. He goes, and I go, "You can't tell me what to do. You're not my daddy." He grabs me, turns me around, and swats me on the butt. And he goes, "Yeah, but I can do that." It's memories like those that, yeah, exactly. The dads know exactly what I'm talking about. I said, man, I got a chance to do that to my own kids. I tell you what, that's so much fun. Turnaround is so much fun. But anyway, talking about a family of one. And if you notice that slide, the one was capitalized, meaning not by yourself, but with spirit. Each and every one of us, regardless of the family dynamics. If you think that you're by yourself now, you're wrong. Each and every one of us are part of that family, of that one divine spirit, that one divine energy. The person you're sitting next to is your family. The person in front of you, I like that. Well, for you, yes, this would be in front of you. That would be behind you. Everyone around you is that family. They may not be blood, but then again, may be. Because as we talk about evolutions, and I'm watching that nice series called Our Planet with, what's his name, doing the commentation. But the lineage, if you go back, Morgan Freeman, thank you. You go back, and we all come from basically the same place. So in a sense, we are distantly related. I get to choose which memories I hold on to. I choose the rose-colored glasses. Elizabeth always says, "Oh, you've got your rose-colored glasses on again," because, things may not be going well. But I seem to remember those happy times. And as we become single or our family becomes smaller, yes, we can sit in our little pity party and go, "Geez, it's the holidays and I don't have someone that I used to have with me." That may be true, but you have the memories, and the love is still there, regardless of whether that person is with you here or with you here. It's still the same energy. So I choose to live with rose-colored glasses on at all times. Well, sometimes, most of the time. There are times when I've forgotten my rose-colored glasses at home and I'm at work and I'm dealing with clients, and then I just have to breathe. We are all part of the bigger family, and that sometimes is forgotten. It really is. So as you are going through this holiday, and they're looking for tickets. Is that what that phone call was about? Somebody's phone went off. I think they're looking for tickets for Patrice tonight. Thank you so much. Looking so forward to being your bartender tonight. Oh, man. But I just love being up here and being in front of each and every one of you to help you realize the beauty that your life is, regardless of the limitations that you think that you have. When it's in regards to family, that's fine. But there's also a responsibility that we have here. We are not victims. We are not designed to sit here and be in our pity-potty chair or our barca loungers in our house going, woe is me. We are designed to be active, to be interactive. So even though the family bloodline may be dwindling, the family is right in the next room, right in the next apartment, right in the next house. That's the family that we need to cultivate. And I'm doing that. Yesterday I made a friend talking about family. So I'm going to work. I've got to take care of, I do sandblasting, and I've got to do a brick for the Unitarian Church. They're installing their new minister this weekend. And so I had to do a brick for them to basically be able to do the install. And I also had to do something for the city of La Quinta because they're getting ready to do their arts festival, and I had to do some painting for the park area there. But as I'm driving, I noticed that there was a truck pulled over to the side of the road, and he had 5-gallon buckets of paint that must have fallen out of his truck, and there must have been about 15 of them. And so I'm driving, as I'm at the light, I look at that, and I'm like, oh, I got so much stuff to do. I've got a lot of stuff, and I got to do my talk. I've got so much to do, and I'm like, you know what? I got to do this. Roll down the window. Can I help you? He goes, I would love that. So I flip a U, we come back down, and I start loading up. I'm like, where are you heading to? And he goes, well, it's on the other side of town. I said, I don't care. Let's get you taken care of. So he's doing a job over at the Marriott. And this was at Fred Waring and Cook. So we drive all the way over there. And he's from Florida. Isn't that funny? So I made a new friend from Florida. How do you live in Florida and get hired for a job here in the desert? I'm like, talk about dynamics. Beachfront property, desert. He's been here since July. It's amazing. But anyway, so these are the things that I'm talking about. Being outgoing. Yes, you may be an only child. Yes, you may not have the dynamics of that family that you once had when you were younger. But the family is what you create daily. Those friends, those people in need, that gentleman in the grocery store who lets you cut in front of him, and he's got like 5 items, and you go ahead and pay for his just because he lets you cut in line. It's these type of actions, people, that creates that family dynamic. Family isn't just blood. It's a relationship of oneself to another person. It's showing love to a stranger that you don't even know. That is how this world gets changed. It's not political. It's not bigger than thou. It starts with a single spark, that spark of love that's within each and every one of us. I encourage you to be active. Make your favorite dish. Remember the great memories. So if you are by yourself, and I love to cook, I love to bake, my favorite is broccoli casserole. And some of you may hate it, but that's okay. I'll eat it. But if you are by yourself, don't wallow in that loneliness. Make that favorite dish for this season and share it with somebody. And even if you don't have someone to share it with, remember what we have are memories. There's yet to come, there's what is, and there's what was. The what was gives you context to living in the now. You can either look at what you may not have had according to other people and use that to limit yourself, or you can see that limitation back there and say, you know what? That stops with me. That lack of love or that giving of less by someone else, that stops with me. I'm giving of myself. I'm showing my worth. I'm showing my love to each and every one of you every single week here, as we all are. I'm living through demonstration because I was once an only child. living by myself, playing and making up friends within my head. And now I have a family all right here. So these potlucks that we have on the first Sunday, I encourage you, bring that stranger who is your next door neighbor. How's that for a sentence? Your next door neighbor is a stranger. Bring them to service on the first Sunday to hear The World Religions by Dr. Dale. And almost important, get some good food from us. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is a choice. Every one of us has to go through that loss of parents, siblings, and yes, sometimes children. But the suffering is the choice. I encourage you to live and come from context when that person comes up into your thoughts. Feel that emotion. Yes, it's sad. But I know for me, I switch it over and I remember those good thoughts, those good memories. Just like my uncle, right on the tush. I may not have liked it then, but I'm loving it now. Love heals all. That's a fact. When you come from love, when you give of yourself during this holiday season, do it with no expectation. Do it from the do it from your authentic self. Let's put it that way. And that authentic self is that divine spirit within you. Not the one that's been colored by day-to-day activities, but that divine knowingness and that divine alignment with spirit. That is a true source, that one power, that family of one. You and spirit are not a single entity. There is no separation between spirit and yourself. And if you believe that and know that to be the truth, then how can there be separation from your person to the left or to the right of you? There isn't. So come from that context. Come from that knowingness. Life isn't something that happens to you. It's something that happens through you. Did I just say that? Well, it bears repeating if I did. It is so true. We are the action of spirit. What we do today does have an effect on the direction not only of our own lives, but on the lives of those around us. Just like that gentleman, his name was Jason. You know, that made his day. I could have drove right on by and continued with on my day and taken care of all the honey-do list that I had to do that day. But I chose to be active and see things happening around me and to be a part of life, to be a part of the solution instead of just going, oh, that's somebody else's problem. No. The teachings here have taught me to give of myself. And in doing so, I'm changing lives, one heart at a time. You can do the exact same thing. It is not magic. It's not something that's bigger, or you've got to think of this colossal idea to change the world. No. It's talking to that neighbor and saying, how are you doing today? It's paying for groceries or helping that person load groceries into their car. It's being of service. By being of service, I can tell you, it fills me with joy. It fills me with gratitude. It allows me to show more love to my household because as I'm putting it out, I get back the feeling that I've done something, that I matter. And I'm here to tell you that each and every one of you matter. Put yourself out there. Go out on the skinny branch. Be active. Be seen. Say hello to a stranger. How they react to it, that's none of your business. But you knew that you put yourself out there, and you may have changed that person's dynamics for that day. You may never know how that may have changed or touched their hearts. But just knowing that the possibility is there is wonderful. Being lonely is relative. It's not absolute. That means it's this conditional life. The relative is this day-to-day life that we're dealing with right now. What's on this side of the fence? What's on that side of the fence? What side of the aisle? Are you left aisle? Are you right aisle? It doesn't matter. That's all relative. It's not absolute. Love, divine energy, that divine connection that each and every one of us has, that's the absolute. Quit worrying about the relative. See the absolute, even when family members make their transitions. Know the absolute truth. It's just a transition. Your relationship to them has changed. Their form of expression has changed, but their energy, their passion, their life energy, their essence is still here. It's part of this universe. Energy can never die. It only changes states of being. When you come from that truth, this holiday season can be a wonderful one. Participate in this holiday season. We all have a cornucopia of experiences. Would you share your bounty of life? A little bit of homage to Dr. Dale, because I know she used cornucopia, was it last week or a couple weeks ago? But I'm like, oh, she can't be the only one. But yes, the cornucopia. Your life experiences gives context to how you act towards another person. Some of us may have had better lives than others. They're just different. Because as my life, good or bad, has happened to me, the good things that happened, yes, I promote those. I draw from that. But also the not so good things that have happened in my life. That, I think maybe I've learned bigger lessons from that. Because as I take what was done to me and I flip it, and I put my rose-colored glasses on, and I see how I felt and know how I felt during that, I make the choice not to do that to another person. So make the choice to come from love at all times. Regardless of what family dynamics you think you have today, the world is not your oyster. The world is your family. A family of one. That's all it takes, is that recognition of that divine light in you. Be that flame. Be that flicker in the night. Be that hope. Be that change. When you do that, you can see the entire room, and you see how wonderful this life is. But more importantly, you make a difference. Thank you. So I'd like to call our ushers up, please. Thank you.